All right, folks, gather round. Tonight we're diving into the thrilling world of Chinese local government debt. Stay with me, people. It's wilder than it sounds. Imagine a mountain of debt so big, it makes Mount Everest look like a molehill. That's what China's facing right now. We're talking trillions of dollars, folks, hidden away like a stash of embarrassing family photos. So what's China doing about this fiscal fiasco? They've whipped out their checkbook and announced a whopping $1.4 trillion plan. That's a lot of yuan, even for a country with pockets as deep as China's. This financial rescue package aims to wrangle that unruly debt and give the economy a much-needed boost. Think of it as a giant financial defibrillator, shocking the system back to life. But hold your horses, folks, because things aren't always as simple as they seem. This debt crisis is like a bowl of spicy Sichuan hot pot complex with layers of hidden ingredients. It's the result of years of reckless spending by local governments, fueled by a booming economy and an insatiable appetite for infrastructure projects. Now, the economy's cooled down faster than a cup of lukewarm oolong tea. And that mountain of debt is starting to look more like a financial avalanche. The big question is, can this $1.4 trillion plan really dig China out of this hole, or is it just kicking the can down the Great Wall? Let's break it down, shall we? To understand this financial drama, we need to shine a light on the shadowy world of hidden debt. See, local governments in China are like that friend who always forgets their wallet when the bill arrives. They've been racking up debt through off-balance sheet entities, basically shell companies designed to keep borrowing hidden from the official books. Sneaky, right? This financial smoke and mirrors game worked wonders when the economy was booming, but now it's come back to bite them in the proverbial red dragon. The pandemic didn't help matters, throwing a wrench into the global economy and leaving China with a nasty economic hangover. Add to that a slumping property market and declining tax revenues, and you've got yourself a recipe for a full-blown debt crisis. So, what's in this $1.4 trillion rescue package? Well, a big chunk of it, around $838 billion, will go towards refinancing existing debt. Think of it as a giant debt consolidation loan, swapping out those high-interest credit cards for something a little more manageable. Another $558 billion will be splashed out over 5 years in the form of special local bonds. These bonds are like IOUs issued by local governments, promising to pay back investors with interest. It's a way for them to raise cash without spooking the markets or sending those pesky credit rating agencies into a frenzy. The goal is to slash that hidden debt from a gut-wrenching $1.99 trillion to a slightly less terrifying $320 billion by 2028. Ambitious? Sure. Possible? Well, that's the billion, or should I say trillion-dollar question. So, will this $1.4 trillion Hail Mary pass be enough to save the day? Well, the jury's still out on that one. Some experts are cautiously optimistic, pointing to the sheer size of the package as a sign that China's serious about tackling this debt dragon. Others, however, are a bit more skeptical. They argue that it's just a temporary fix, a band-aid on a gaping financial wound. Even if the plan succeeds in reducing debt, there are concerns about the impact on economic growth. Remember, China's economy is used to chugging along at a breakneck pace. But with this debt albatross around its neck, it's going to need all the help it can get. Now, this isn't China's first rodeo in the ring of economic stimulus. Back in September, they rolled out a package focused on giving the old monetary system a boost. Think lower interest rates and easier access to credit. And to be fair, the economy has shown some signs of life lately. GDP inched up by 4.6% in the third quarter, which isn't bad, but still falls short of the government's ambitious targets. The big question is, with all this money being thrown at the problem, will it actually reach those who need it most? Or will it get bogged down in China's notoriously complex bureaucracy? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, this $1.4 trillion debt plan is just the beginning of a long and winding road for China. Tackling this mountain of debt won't be easy, and it's going to require some serious economic discipline. Remember those local governments with their forgetful wallets? They're going to have to learn to live within their means, and that's going to require some tough love from the central government. But it's not just about balancing the books. This debt crisis has exposed some fundamental flaws in China's economic model, particularly the reliance on debt-fueled infrastructure spending to drive growth. To achieve sustainable growth in the long run, China needs to shift gears and find new engines for its economic machine. This whole debt debacle also highlights the importance of transparency, something that's often been lacking in China's financial system. Shining a light on those shady off-balance sheet activities is a good first step, but there's still a long way to go. So there you have it, folks. China's $1.4 trillion debt plan is a bold gamble, a high-stakes game of economic poker with the future of the world's second-largest economy hanging in the balance. Will it pay off? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild ride. And that's the end of our show. We'll be right back after these messages from our Chinese overlords. Just kidding, or am I?